Macao is a very little enclave in the Great China that was administered by the Portuguese, always in good respect for the Chinese characteristics of Macao society. It was never a Portuguese colony. It was much more a trade port administered by the Portuguese. And when Portugal restored its democracy in 1974 and finished the process of decolonization, of course Portugal was very much available to allow for the return of Macao to the Chinese sovereignty. And the process was a very, very interesting one, because for 20 years we negotiated with no hurry, with all the aspects of the transition, of the return of Macao to China. And we established, in common agreement, we established a basic law that is a roadmap for a transitional period of half a century. And until now, the two parties are complying with their commitments. And this compliance, of course, strengthened the bilateral relationship between the Popular Republic of China and the Democratic Portugal. And this is very important for Portugal, but this is also very important for Europe. In an era of confrontation as the one we are living, it is very important that there are these examples, things that were clearly established and they are clearly respected.
We're talking about 20 years after the handover to Chinese rule. Economically, could you describe the development of Macao in those past 20 years?
Macao is nowadays one of the richest regions in China and one of the richest regions in Asia. For instance, if you can see the GDP per capita, it's one of the highest GDP per capita in the world. Still with a problem, and a structural problem. Macao's economy depends very hugely from gambling, and from the financial and touristic services coupled with gambling. So it's its economy that depends only on one drive. And the Chinese authorities and the current government, Macao is a special region within China, the current government is working very hard trying to diversify the Macao economy, transforming it into a place of tourism, financial services, and also technology. I think there is a very important opportunity right now. It's the so-called Great Bay project. The idea of the Chinese government to develop a special economic area in the provinces of, in the regions of Macao, Shenzhen, and Guangdong. And of course, if this results, Macao will be a much more important axis in the Chinese economy, together with the Hong Kong, of course, and Shenzhen and Guangdong, and can have important gains in terms of sustainability of its economic growth. I think this is the challenge Macao faces.